You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Hazleton teen's life was honored Sunday afternoon through a vigil service. WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker stopped by and has more on the story.
Family and friends gathered where Poplar and Elm Street meet for a vigil service held for Hector Padilla. The 15-year-old's life was taken after being involved in a hit-and-run while riding his bike that took place last June.
It's been 10 months. We're still waiting to get justice. We're hoping that we're going to get justice. So for the people out there, stay tuned. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Let's see if they're going to bring justice for my nephew. Let's see if justice is fair enough. Or let's see if connections are stronger.
More than 100 people came to celebrate Padilla's life, who was a student at Heights Terrace. He is missed by many family members and friends, but he'll never be forgotten.
Well, he was so friendly. He had so many friends. He was so joyful, very respectful kid. He was the wild of my family, so every time that Hector was there, you know Hector was there. You know how many times we gotta tell Hector stop, and he will keep going and doing it.
The driver, Gabriel Hernandez Mendez, is scheduled for sentencing tomorrow. Padilla's family is hoping for justice for him.
We're just waiting to have some closure for my family, because the only thing that we have left is just to get justice for Hector. That's the only thing that we're asking for. My family is not complete no more.
Balloons written with messages on them were lifted up into the sky, and candles were placed inside his memorial during the vigil. As the summer months approach, Padilla's family wants to make sure that drivers remain aware of bicycles riding along the roadways.
Be responsible out there, kids. Watch out, be careful. It's not going to be irresponsible drivers, so be careful, be mindful, look around, make sure that no one is around there.
Hector's family hopes to get justice this Tuesday and wants to remind drivers to be cautious and slow down while kids are out riding their bikes this summer. Reporting in Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Frequent League bowlers packed the Bowl Arena in Hazleton Sunday for their last chances at the lanes before it closes its doors for good. The Bowl Arena got its start in 1959 and has been an iconic place for both professionals and those that bowl for fun to come together. Everyone still has a chance to hit a strike until the building closes permanently on May 28th. Bob and Patsy Hall have co-owned the Bowl Arena since 1995. The couple's made many lifelong friends through the arena, attending weddings, funerals, and exchanging holiday cards. Bob spoke on what he'll miss the most about owning the business.
You get to be friends with a lot of people, and you got a lot of socialization there. You're in the bowling leagues and you're in the parties, and it's really nice. So really enjoyed that.
Bowling will still take place from 5 to 10 p.m., along with moonlight bowling on Saturdays from 10 p.m. to midnight until the business closes. Police in Hazleton are asking for the public's help in locating a man wanted on felony drug charges. The arrest warrant for 22-year-old Raimundo Figueroa Perez is a result of a narcotics investigation conducted during the summer of 2020. He also has a bench warrant for failure to appear in court for a previous drug arrest. He's known to have family or reside in Providence and Cranston, Rhode Island. Police say he may also still have family in the Hazleton and Freeland areas. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to contact HBT's tip line at 570-450-2080 or email tips@hazletonpd.org. A Philadelphia man was taken into custody for allegedly selling heroin in Luzerne County. According to Wilkes-Barre police, 33-year-old Terrell Watson allegedly sold drugs in a parking lot on North Wilkes-Barre Boulevard back on November 18th. He led police on a chase, exited the vehicle, and fled the scene on foot. Police recovered his vehicle and found suspected marijuana in numerous cell phones, before his arrest on Friday. Watson was charged with possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, criminal use of a communication facility, possession of drug paraphernalia, and fleeing or attempting to elude police. He was jailed without bail after being deemed a flight risk. A fence was damaged at the Mahanoy City high-rise after a driver crashed into it Friday night. According to police, the unidentified driver was parking along Center Street when he hit the gas pedal instead of the brake and caused the vehicle to crash into the fence. No injuries were reported during that Friday night incident in Mahanoy City. Luzerne County Council will soon search for applicants to fill the seat left vacant by Robert Schnee, who left to serve as state representative. Council must declare the seat vacant and decide whether Schnee's replacement will be a Democrat or Republican. Schnee was elected as a Democrat back in 2019, but changed over to the Republican Party. The county's interim chief solicitor said that according to the county's home rule charter, the replacement must have been registered Republican since November of 2019 when Schnee was elected. Schnee's replacement will serve on council until his term expires in 2023. Council's next meeting starts at 6 tomorrow night at the county courthouse on North River Street in Wilkes-Barre. Governor Tom Wolf announced that Department of Education Secretary Dr. Noe Ortega will resign from his position with the state on April 29th. Ortega was nominated to serve as Secretary of Education back in October of 2020 and was confirmed by Senate in June of 2021. Wolf said Ortega led the department through unprecedented times, ensured a safe return to in-person learning, and provided access to COVID-19 testing and vaccines. The governor also announced his intention to name Eric Haggerty to serve as acting secretary. Haggerty currently serves as Wolf's deputy chief of staff, who's responsible for implementing the governor's priorities and policies related to education. Coming up on WYLN News, PennDOT's latest roadwork to keep in mind while you're out, plus more on the latest pill to fight against COVID. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Gia, and I'm 3 years old. The weather is going to be tomorrow rainy, so get your umbrella. Bye.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
PennDOT began roadwork today in Hazleton. A lane restriction will be in place while patching and cutting work is performed on Route 309 from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. through Friday. Road maintenance will also take place Tuesday in Packer Township on Spring Mountain Road between Packer Drive and Quakeacre Road. A lane restriction with flagging in both directions will be in effect from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. while it's being completed. That road work is estimated to be completed by Friday as well. The Biden administration said that the country no longer needs to ration its Paxlovid treatment supply. President Joe Biden said that Americans and their doctors will soon have more access to the life-saving COVID-19 antiviral regimen. The White House is moving to raise awareness of the pill that's been proven to bring an almost 90% reduction in hospitalizations and deaths among patients most likely to get severe disease when administered within 5 days of symptoms appearing. The U.S. ordered enough Paxlovid pills for 20 million people, which is estimated to last for several more months. However, the administration warned that subsequent deliveries are dependent on Congress approving additional COVID-19 response funding. Coming up on Pocono Mountains News Choice, we're wasting away in Margaritaville and Community and You. Plus, who's leading the way again this week? And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman on Wyln TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. All our good news stories will be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally posted on WYLN News Facebook page and on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today with us we have the president and CEO of the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau, Chris Barrett. First of all, how are you doing, Chris?
Good. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Anytime. So today, Chris, we are going to ask you about the most recent announcement about Margaritaville coming to the Pocono Mountains. So can you tell us a little bit about maybe the timeline at first, and then we can kind of dive into what Margaritaville is all about?
Sure. So the Pocono Mountains property is where it's located, very close to Kalahari off of Route 380. Unfortunately, the property burned down in 2019, right before the pandemic, and there was some talk about how would the property be redeveloped. Would it be redeveloped in the same format it is now? Would they look at something different? There's a lot of developable land around the property. So the folks that owned it looked at a number of different types of projects, always trying to get to the point where they would rebuild the main building of the property. And I think this has been talked about now for about 6 to 8 months, maybe even a little longer. And then the plan came to fruition, I guess, within the last few months. And it's just really thrilling and exciting because it combines so many different elements of what makes that brand really great. And the cool thing is this brand is not only nationally known, but it's internationally known, which really puts the Pocono Mountains on the map in a very different way than really what it is now. There aren't ones that have the complete elements. This will be the first resort attraction. And they're really cool, and this does exist somewhere, the RV piece of it. So you think, oh, it's just a normal RV hookup. No, it's totally different. And then the food service, the retail brands, the chalets, the lodge itself, everything that they're proposing during summer and winter. So they're proposing things to do within the winter and attractions related to that as well. It is just something totally unique and one that we're just really, really thrilled about because it fits in nicely with all the other attractions that are located very close to it.
Now, I know it may sound like an obvious question almost, but for those who may not know, let's talk about Margaritaville, the brand as a whole, what it's all about.
So I think if you've heard any Jimmy Buffett song, you get the idea and feel of what this really looks like. And it was something that he started, which now I believe he sold. I'm not sure what his involvement is in it now, but it's really kind of developed into something really, really cool that's all themed around the songs. So, parrot heads love Jimmy Buffett, and Margaritaville, of course, is the song that probably everybody knows. And that's really just kind of how it's developed, his theory on life and what he feels about it. And he's been in a few movies, he's done a few things, and there are probably elements of all of that that kind of complete what this brand is. But people just love Jimmy Buffett, and they love everything or anything that has to do with him. And this is really a celebration of that, this whole brand.
And when we think Margaritaville, we're thinking summer, but you mentioned that this is also going to be a winter resort as well. And where better should a winter resort be than the Pocono Mountains?
They're actually formulating that right now. We did see some of it, which is very interesting, like a synthetic skating area, some kind of other, like a hot chocolate bar, coffee bars, like all those. Yeah, it's like very high end. I mean, so I'm really kind of interested to see what that looks like because I think it's a little different than anything they've ever done. But some of the RV hookups in camping places, they're very, very high end. Fire rings. You can, have multiple families there, having a cookout, and everything you need is available. And also, too, there is a portion of it for 1,000 housing units that are short and long term. And that's really, I think, going to be really, really cool because somebody can really stay at that resort for the whole time and have all types of different experiences. And I'm sure there's some that'll develop over time, as they begin to build it. So we're waiting to see what that kind of looks like.
And as we are waiting, what's the construction timeline? Where is the guesstimate of when people can start making the reservation?
So we're thinking that it will begin sometime in 2023 and be completed by 2024. So the property's in multiple townships. So there's still a lot to be done with that. I've seen some sketches for it. Obviously all the really hard engineering work has to be done and the final designs really to get to where you go. But it's interesting, once this was released, the amount of interest that has been generated by this is unbelievable. We had one of our posts reach over 2 million people, and they shared it over 9,000 times. And then we were told that within the first few hours, Margaritaville itself received over 4,000 inquiries about how people could buy a home, or if it was a short-term rental, how could they. There's an incredible amount of interest in it. There's a really dedicated fan base. It'll be interesting to see how it'll be introduced to new folks. So it's exciting, especially for northeastern Pennsylvania, for the Poconos. It's an international brand, which is amazing.
And I guess we could wrap this up with, how excited is the Visitors Bureau?
Oh, it's great. And two things I would say is that this is projected to be a $1.3 billion investment. And we've had hundreds of millions of dollars into the billions invested within the Poconos within the last 10 years. So if I were to point anywhere within the United States and say, find me somewhere within the last 10 years that there have been $3 billion invested in hospitality and tourism assets, I can't find a place that I could point to. So it's very exciting that we continue to grow at a very steady pace and celebrating all the great natural assets here within the Poconos, but sprinkling them with your Great Wolf Lodges, your Kalaharis, your Mount Airies, your Camelbacks, and Woodlocks and Skytops, and then the beautiful rivers, state and federal parks. It's just a really all-around beautiful product that people can hopefully will enjoy for decades and decades to come with these types of additions.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and giving us a little preview of what to expect in the next upcoming 2 years or so.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You guys are great.
Anytime. We're always happy to have you. And thank you, everybody watching out there. That's it for Community and You. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
At 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, our own Chris Fulmer's leading the way again to kick off this week's series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leading the Way, where we explore the backstories of those paving NEPA towards a better future. This final week of Autism Acceptance Month, we're joined by Chris Fulmer, an employee of the station at our Master Control, as well as an accomplished author. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Phil. I'm glad to be here.
It's nice to have you. So why don't we start off, as we start all these segments, with the beginning. Tell us about growing up. What did you want to be when you were a kid, and just what you got up to as a kid?
Well, I guess I can say I had a somewhat typical childhood. Tuning into Fraggle Rock every week was the first thing that I really did, plus The Price is Right in the morning. I guess once I found I did well in school, that's kind of what I aimed at for a while, perhaps at the expense of everything else, I have to wonder, but I did graduate with honors in the end. First I wanted to go into acting for a while after I got into drama club in high school. Eventually I switched to TV and film in college when that turned out to be easier at DeSales University, which of course has a renowned theater program, and fortunately I was able to parlay the degree I got there into my job here at Wyln, which has been very beneficial for me over the last 16 years.
And what was kind of the appeal of acting?
Well, I guess I like to be, it's a way I can express myself, I guess. I like being up there, being able to command people's attention and make them forget the troubles of the world for a while, especially if I can make them laugh as such.
And your study with film and television, what kind of made that transition for you?
Well, in a way it's the same thing basically. You're still entertaining. I worked behind the scenes with a number of shoots and live productions in the DeSales studio, the DeSales Live Campus Show. I operate camera, I was assistant director, I operated the switcher a few times, and on live shoots I occasionally worked with dolly tracks and basically carried the equipment around or such. So I had some experience by the time I got here at Wyln.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Chris continues leading the way into part 2 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.